Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Chiliz Chain Ecosystem Panel Talk. So it's a really exciting moment right now. As in Chiliz Chain, we have just welcomed our very first anniversary on the 10th of May. And next week, we will also have the hard fork Dragon 8 going live. So a lot is going on right now on Chiliz. And in the past year, we have seen the ecosystem growing a lot since the launch of mainnet, thanks to our ecosystem partners and our community. And today, we are very honored to have some representatives of our ecosystem partners joining us with our very own Chief Strategy Officer, Max, as well. We have Antonio, the CEO of Legend, Shivan, the Product Manager at Tatum, and Philip, the co-founder of Kayen here. Welcome, everyone. So how about we kick off this panel with a round of brief self-introduction, just like a very quick one, and your roles and very quick background in the crypto space and what brought you to your current role. Shall we start with Max, our old friend of Chiliz community?
Sure, happy to. Hey, everybody. My name is Max Rabinovich. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Chiliz and Socios.com. I've been with this project since its inception, writing the white paper and helping out with the initial kind of product structure of Socios and fan tokens and what they ended up becoming. So that was my introduction into the crypto world in terms of working, and I'd been close to it for a number of years before that. Just following the evolution of Bitcoin and then the introduction of Ethereum and all those things. So happy to be here.
Thanks, Max. Antonio, do you want to go for next?
Sure. Hello. And nice to talk to you. And thanks for the invitation to this AMA with you. Myself, I'm the CEO and founder of Legend. I'm in the crypto space back since 2013, of the first experiences with Bitcoin back then. My background and what leads to creating Legend. I've been working and providing technology to the sports sector for more than 12 years in different type of projects and products, mainly for sport federations and competitions. And that was like the seed and the origin of coming up with the idea, with a very unique insights or with a lot of expertise in working with them. And everything that we are building is always from like trying to create real use cases for blockchain in the sport sector, thanks to the experience that we got through all these years working with sport entities.
Very good. Thanks a lot, Antonio, for joining us as well. And Shiv, do you want to go next?
Yep, I can take next. So thanks for having me, first of all. I'm Shiv, currently building dev toolings at Tatum as a product manager. I started in crypto back in 2018 as a proof of work miner on Ethereum, which I think you can probably see with the graphics card in my background, right? And around 2020, I got interested in the tech side. Like till that time, I was just enjoying my mining rewards, and like the whole blockchain thing was for me a way to make some money, I guess. But in 2020, I started as a consultant with some of the smaller blockchain projects. And that's where I realized the developer experience in blockchain was really struggling. It's like there's not enough tools, there's not enough people, there's not enough community where you could get back and learn how you could, let's say, make a very simple project just to fetch balances and stuff like that. So that's where I started having my spark in the dev tooling industry. And my first job was in a big dev tooling company as well. I worked there roughly 1.5 years, and then I'm in Tatum from past 1.5 years as well. So that's about me, and good to be here.
Great. Yeah, it's really important to have comprehensive dev tools for developers in this sector to be able to build on the chain. All right. So Philip, do you want to share your story with our community?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm Philip, co-founder of Kayen. And personally, I got into the crypto space since 2017 as a private investor. And then my friends and I made a team and we started to build our own projects since 2021. We went to Web3 hackathons and we tried building multiple products and multiple chains. And anyways, I'm a big fan of sports and crypto. So here I am in Chiliz. Where else? Anyways, thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. So, and in the next section, we will have individual questions to all of the guests. And the first one goes to our very own Max. And we all know that currently in the Chiliz community, the hard fork is coming very soon. And that's kind of like bringing a lot of changes to the chain, to the tokenomics as well. So with the upcoming significant hard fork, Dragon 8 on Chiliz chain, could you please elaborate a bit on the main changes and how will those changes impact the holders of Chiliz and potentially their participation in the Chiliz chain governance and also to the developers as well?
Sure, yeah, and I'll provide, I guess, a bit of context for the history of Chiliz because I think it'll make the changes make a lot more sense. So we launched Chiliz back in 2018 when we didn't have an open layer 1 protocol to worry about. We had built the Chiliz tech stack as a permissioned sidechain of Ethereum, and for that reason, the token supply of Chiliz as a token was very simple. The tokenomics were very simple in that it was just a static supply because it never needed to accommodate the flexibility and evolution that a governance token for an open chain would need to. We always had the ambition of launching an open layer 1, and we wanted to make sure that we had legitimacy inside the sports space, both as a retail operator with Socios.com and fan tokens, and also as a technology vendor in terms of our engineering team and building the chain itself. So we didn't actually get around to launching a second version of the Chiliz chain until May of last year. It was, I think, just a few days ago that we actually celebrated the 1-year anniversary of the genesis of the chain, and that's a completely different animal when you're talking about a token needing to now fulfill the needs of being a real, sovereign protocol governance asset. And it became apparent to us very early on that if we wanted to have the fuel to actually incentivize development and reward development and adoption of the chain, and B, to be able to sustainably reward and incentivize adoption into our governance community, that we needed to make some substantial changes to how the Chiliz token operates, and that's where the Dragon 8 hard fork came about. So the main changes that I guess speak simply are that we're including an inflationary mechanism. It's going to start with roughly 8.8% inflation in year 1 and trend down to 1.88% inflation by year 14. And also, we are going to include a burning mechanism for trading fees on the chain as well. That for us, I don't want to oversimplify it, but solves the core problems that we have because now we have allocatable inflation, not just to reward staking and bring our staking community up to a much higher percentage of our circulating supply, but also to be able to funnel rewards and incentives sustainably for developers, right? Whether it comes in the form of grants or otherwise. And that's really the core. And I don't want to put too many bells and whistles on it because I think the thing we were really focused on is to make sure that these were conservative changes, that we didn't go kind of beyond the moat and create an overrun of inflation or to create something that was unsustainable. We actually kind of went under market average, as it were, if you look at other established protocols out there in terms of how much new token supply we were looking to add, and to make sure that we created an end state where it was very, very realistic if we had any sort of, let's say, success in terms of long-term adoption, in terms of addition of transaction volume, wallets, and TVL, that we could be in a place where the burning mechanism for transactions on the chain would either hit equilibrium or eventually overrun the end state inflation that we were putting forth.
Thanks, Max, for the very detailed explanation, and also for the committee member. If you are curious about more details, you can always find the information from our social media, from our docs, and from our Medium blog as well. So for for example, let's say a sustainable scenario for Chiliz ecosystem after the hard fork in the coming 1 year or next year? Max, do you expect like what will it be like?
It's kind of a funny question, see, because are you asking me for my preferred scenario or what a scenario for sustainability would need to be for the next 12 months? Because
Yeah, kind of like from community, from developers after the
sure.
hard
I mean,
fork.
I think at the highest level, and I touched on it a bit already, is that sustainable reality would be that the mission goals that we had in mind when we first ideated, and now obviously it's close to actually going through governance, um, is that this would incentivize the right ecosystem behaviors and adoption that we wanted, right? So if you just create inflation with no afterthoughts, it's not going to do any good if you don't have a strategy in mind to in turn then increase adoption and increase participation in governance. So sustainability for us looks like inflation comes and it's hopefully smoothly, I think it will be swallowed up in terms of a much higher proportion of our current holding community staking into governance in the first place. Right now, it's extremely low, right? I think it's roughly 2 point something percent, which makes sense, right? As our chain currently is, there's just not a lot of incentivization to be part of the validation community. And then also, if this works, if the incentives that we're going to bring forth work to actually bring developers, folks that are going to be using Tatum, for example, folks like Kayen who are interested to build on the chain, where they don't need to be in a position where they're choosing between loving the business infrastructure and the mission of what Chiliz does in sports as a niche and having to choose between the commercial realities of knowing that, well, if Chiliz is in a place like we were in the past, right, and we can't, I hate to use the word compete, but can't compete in terms of offering, chain incentive to development, that they have to choose another protocol to build on because that's what's best for their business, even though they might like it less because really the product market fit and the business support that they're looking for, that's more important, I think, to companies in the long run than just grants or simple incentives. It's on Chiliz and not elsewhere.
Awesome. Thanks for the answer, Max. And Antonio, could you please actually update us on the latest developments at Legends, including any new partnerships? Because I saw there are quite a few like very big sports partnership coming up. And what should the community expect from the upcoming collaborations?
Sure, thank you for the question. Yes, we have a lot of things going on. When you talk about partnerships, we are working with like different stakeholders. On the one side, the federations, as you know, we have also athletes, and then we are also partnering with other brands and entities in the sports sector I'm going to tell you about. As you know, what we are doing is helping athletes and fans to connect, and we are doing that through digital trophies and medals. It's like the real world assets, and we managed to some competitions actually replace the physical and trophies and medals with digital versions. In some competitions, they are delivering still both. We are using these assets for unlocking new ways of engaging with the fans and so on. So for us, I'm going to say a couple of important points. One of our partners is the World Baseball and Softball Confederation. It's the world governing body of baseball and softball in the world. And the big milestone that they are going about to announce soon is they have, so far we've been working with them for almost 2 years, and they've been delivering our trophies and medals in their competitions. It was as a part of everything that we are doing in the competitions. But now delivering digital trophies and medal is like part of their official protocol or event protocol. No? As you know, when there is a World Cup, you have like even a protocol of how it has to be the event, media rights, TV, everything else. No? And one of the things is the award ceremonies and the trophies or the medals that you are delivering. So now the digital version is also part of the official different ways, or different items that they have to go through, or the checklist, for when organizing an event. And for us, it's like a big milestone in the sense that something or one concept that we come up with a couple of years ago now is part of the official protocol of one of the biggest governing bodies in the world. So we expect them to be like the first one in the world doing that, like in an official way, like it's written already in their policies, and it's going to spread to other governing bodies after that. And then there is also a partnership that we are going to announce soon. We cannot say yet the brand, but it's like an equipment or a shopping good company, a Web2 real one, that is selling to the retail, to the sport fans and users. We are reached a deal where all the trophies and medals that we deliver to the athletes, where they will be able to connect their wallets to the e-commerce that they have, and they will have a discount, And these type of things are the really things, real uses of the NFTs that because for a brand, usually when you have a retail or have someone that is going to buy in your e-commerce, whatever, you may know things about them. Usually they register with an email and they can buy, even if you offer discounts, but you are not always sure that who is buying, with NFTs, it's a very powerful utility, a very powerful tool for the things like e-commerce, because I can ensure them that the one making the purchase is a World Cup winner, or is the silver medal winner of Olympic Games, or even a grassroots player with the family, So it unlocks a lot of possibilities for e-commerces and for different brands in order to get enriched media, enriched data from the users that they are buying, So we are always trying to work in this mix of sport, Web3, but always with like real use cases, of this technology that will enhance the sport and not just using it for the sake of it, just because it's a trendy thing. So that's always the thing that we are working with. So these couple of things that I can say, as you can imagine, we are in touch with a lot of world governing bodies and other competitions, and always trying to disrupt the way of awarding trophies, or medals, and using that like a fun engagement mechanism for them.
Yes, indeed. I would say it's a really good intersection between sports and Web3, and also like the collaboration between Legend and the Chiliz is also kind of like really matching our niche as well. Yeah. So a question from a friend: when Olympics?
That's a good point. We are trying to get them, and we've been talking to them, but it's taking time. I don't know if we are going to manage to do that for the Olympics, but we are in talks. So if you can talk with them, that will be also good. In the sense, that's like we made the Pan American Games it was in the November and December last year, and they are just second to the Olympics in number of athletes. This is the second biggest event in the world. It's actually under the umbrella of the International Olympic Committee and the International Paralympic Committee. They have their branches in America. It was just the second to the Olympics, and yes, that's something that we are targeting. We don't know if we are going to do it, but we are in the position to hopefully do that. If not, we will keep working and doing other ones, but if not this one, for sure the next games we will manage to do it. And also, as you said, with the Chiliz chain, and also coming on what Max just said, I mean, for us, it makes a lot of, also as a project, building with you, and for us, it has a lot of utility in the sense that what Chiliz provides to also the partners that they have in the call with me, and it's like you already have a curated community, of Web3 and sport enthusiasts, So any company or project as us, for us, it makes a lot of sense, to work with you, and that's, I believe, that you are the pioneers or the first big, sport Web3 company that you also get into the infrastructure side. For us as a project, building with you that's what we would like. I mean, it's not only the technology, but also the curated community that you already have that we can leverage, and to build on top of that, and hopefully also integrate with other projects. And for us, it's a lot of network effects, because all the other projects that are here and other projects that are working with you, any new user of the Chiliz chain is a potential also user of another project that is already there, that already has your tokens, that already has been onboarded on your chain. So for us, make a lot of sense to build on top of that.
Thanks a lot, Antonio. Yeah, that's kind of like the network effect we want to bring to the community and to the developer community as well. Okay, then the next question going to Shiv. So at Tatum, could you please share us a bit about the recent progress and its offerings to Chiliz chain developers? And what kind of like unique tools or services do Tatum provide to enhance developer experience on Chiliz chain?
Yeah, I think I would be happy to talk about that, but maybe just before that, Chili's fans, like once you see this, maybe you can tag the Olympics Twitter handle and probably Legends Twitter handle and just ask them like when Olympics, right? And tag Legends. So what do you think, Antonio?
Yes, let's create it. We have to start the movement
That
and
would
make
be
them jump on top of it.
But yeah, so maybe I'll get back to my question. There's few things that Tatum offers which are kind of amazing things that I feel for the developers. Maybe I'll start with the most low-level basic blocks, which are nodes, right? I mean, most of the dApps still directly prefer to use nodes for some reason. They enjoy being connected to the blockchain directly, and we run both full nodes and archive nodes as our offerings in-house, which is, I think, apart from being it the best infrastructure, like mostly like 99% uptime and being the fastest response time, I think there's still other things which I kind of feel which are more amazing, which Tatum offers for all the developers building on Chiliz, and I would like to talk about them. And I kind of put them in two different categories. One is like the reading category, one is like the writing category, right? Like it's basically like how all the applications work. So in the reading side of the things, I think the best product that I kind of feel we have for all Chili's developer ecosystem is our indexing product. So I think probably Philip, when he talks about his experience building in hackathons, and probably even the Legend team could agree to that. When you're building an application in blockchain, and let's say you want to get your users' data, right? It could be like all the fan tokens that they have, or it could be like all the trophies a specific user has in their wallet that they have won as NFTs or so, right? If you want to do this and all you have access to is just nodes, then basically you're going to index a huge amount of data, and probably you'll, instead of focusing on your use case, you'll also focus on managing that huge infrastructure, always getting that real-time up-to-date data from the nodes as well, which is quite painful. And that's what Tatum solves as well. We have indexed the whole Chiliz chain. And let's say if you want to fetch all the tokens that a user has, all the NFTs that a user has, or maybe all the transactions that a user has done as well, you can just do it with one simple API call. And that kind of makes you like being more focused on your real use case instead of worrying about all these technical infrastructure challenges. And just on continuing on this reading side of the things, we also have scanners, which we call notifications for our end users. Basically, what this product does is, let's say if you want to monitor transactions moving out from one wallet to another, right? Let's say if you want to monitor C sending me, let's say, some nice Chili's token, right? You can do so by just like just listening to my wallet. You can submit that, hey, you want to look at the specific address, you want to look for, let's say, native token transaction types. And then for each transaction that happens on chain, Tatum sends you a webhook, right? So if you're building an application where real-time notifications are quite important, which I think is definitely a great UX in crypto apps if you have it, because people are always afraid, right? When you make a transaction, you literally wait whether this arrives or not. And yeah, having a notification layer on top of it, which kind of keeps user up to date, would be nice. So we offer that notifications product as well. And I think last but not the least, we also have this transaction simulation and broadcast options for the user. So let's say if you are building an application where your user will be doing a lot of transactions, I think one hurdle there is sometimes users have to go through the transactions and they might be worried. Like, let's say if you're a new project in Chiliz as well, right? They might be worried whether this is a genuine transaction that I'm signing or something like that. So with the transaction simulation product that we offer, you can literally show your user that once this transaction happens, what changes will occur on chain, right? So they feel much more confident participating with your dApp and so on. So that's one of the best offerings that we have for the Chiliz ecosystem. And apart from that, I think the active developer community that Tatum has is also one of the best things I would say that Tatum still has to offer to Chiliz ecosystem. But yeah, that's me.
Very cool. Thanks a lot, Shiv, for the detailed explanation. And yeah, I think also here on the call for the Chiliz dev community, there will be some small gifts to be offered from Tatum to Chiliz community very soon. Stay tuned, follow our social media, join our Discord, and yeah, that will be shared very soon. Okay, so Philip, the last question is for you. As Kayen protocol approaches launch very soon, which is very expected by the Chiliz community as well, what highlights can you share about the launch campaign and what opportunities should potential users and community members look out for?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to clarify what is coming up. So Kayen protocol itself, we use the term ecosystem because we want to build a lot of products on Chiliz. And our first product is going to be the DEX Kayen Swap. And when Kayen Swap goes live, which is very soon, we are just taking the final measures. We'll be rolling out a community engagement program, and users can earn points by completing tasks like trading on our DEX or inviting friends. And we wanted to make our launch program really exciting. So we have these cool features coming up, like user created teams and special themes like FC Barcelona Week. And active participants will receive Kayen tokens based on their points. So we encourage everyone to join our community and get involved. And one thing I also want to add is that I've been looking at some other projects, referral programs too. And what I wanted more for our program was to maintain the hype and to make it fun. That's why each week is going to be a new round with the theme that I just mentioned, like FC Barcelona week. So we think it's going to be really exciting and we want everyone to get involved.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, and we really look forward to the launch event. And yep, thanks everyone for your answers. So right now we enter the second session, which is free discussion. We have 2 topics for everyone to join. So just like raise your hand and feel free to jump in if you want to share opinions. So first is because like we are all ecosystem partners and you are developers yourself. So what do you think are the key factors that would influence developers when choosing a platform to build on? And how does Chiliz Chain cater to those needs, in your opinion?
I was
So
going to let
maybe
someone else. Yeah, I was going to say, I'll let the developers speak first.
so you can go first as well, Max. Let me know.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Perfect. So I think there's many factors that a developer usually considers while joining let's say a new ecosystem. It could be like one of the most important is I think the support and tooling, which kind of also something that we offer. So I would like to start with that first. So one great thing with Tatum and probably with Tatum and Chiliz together is that let's say if you plan to build on Chiliz, then the tools that we offer kind of enables you to make sure that your application, which is currently, let's say, on other chains, can smoothly work on Chiliz as well, right? So one of the 4 most important things for me is tools. Like there should be great and amazing tools on the chain, which should enable developers not just to like build from the scratch, but let's say if they have something already built out, they should be able to just add some new lines of code and they should be supported on a newer chain as well, right? So on that on that area, I think it's amazing what Tatum Chiliz is doing great. And next thing could be the developer support. So I think Max was talking in the start that there's plans of having rewards for developers, grants for developers with the new tokenization that Chiliz has. I think that's amazing as well because all these new projects starting out, they definitely need a boost where they could probably hire their first engineer, or maybe let's say the guy is a technical founder, then they could hire their first marketer. And with these supports from Chili's ecosystem, I think it would be definitely enabling a lot of builders to come in as well. So I think 2 most important for me would be the dev tooling part that I shared first, and then the ecosystem support, which I think is definitely great with Chili's.
Yeah, he said mostly what I wanted to say, and it kind of just boils down to realizing that developers don't exist from day one of your chain. They have baggage, they have things that they're good at, they have tools that they expect to be able to use, and it's a pretty big hurdle and pain if we just don't have them on board, which is something that we're actively keep working on because we've only been around for around 12 months.
Yeah.
The only thing I was going to maybe add a tiny bit of color on is the ecosystem support, because I think a lot of times in crypto that tends to extend as far as, hype marketing and impressions and inclusion into Discords and Telegram groups where you can talk to people about your project. I think it misses out two core value points that we have, which is the ability to find any sort of product market fit, right? Part of the reason we waited 6 years or more to launch a chain is because we figured it would be very valuable if we did our job well in any sense with fan tokens, if we created any sort of kind of onboarded crypto enthusiast sports fan community with fan tokens, that then when people came on and they wanted to build their products, they wouldn't just be left out in the cold, and realize very quickly kind of that invisible problem in crypto where if you get away from the financial speculation corridor of Web3, people have a hard time finding users. It is a much bigger hurdle than we ever like to discuss publicly, how to get casual people, casual fans into the whole idea of using a wallet. What is a token? How does it work differently? So we figured if we had, 10, 50, 100,000, 200,000, et cetera, people or more that already had fan tokens, we might have an easier time in helping bring them to developers, because we could do it by virtue of the fact that they were already bought into a sense through our IPs. And then I think the second bit is the business network that a lot of people tend to kind of negate as well, because crypto is very community oriented. But the reality is, if you're building a retail product in sport, you can't do it very easily in a vacuum. There's certain products maybe you can, social experiences and things of that ilk. But for the most part, if you're talking about games, if you're talking about marketplaces, if you're talking about like kind of those core avenues of retail, Web3 and crypto, they need to attach to something, right? Fans aren't fans of the idea of sports. They're fans of PSG or the Chicago Bulls in my case. So you need to have an interaction with those, and that's very, very foreign, I think, especially to the tech community, to the crypto community, how you interact with this like old school business universe of professional sport globally, and its different nuances region to region. I think stops a lot of people in their tracks, or makes them make a lot of mistakes. They misunderstand how much the partnership overhead is to even be able to do things. They misunderstand what value points they should be bringing to these organizations that will even turn their ear up and make them listen, as opposed to just deleting the email. And for me, that's really important, not to rant in a circle too much.
From my end, I would like also to add, it's just what you just say, no? Coming up with what I told before, no, what Chiliz is offering, no, this already curated community of Web3 and sport enthusiasts. I mean, I'm not a developer, I'm an engineer, but I'm not developing anymore. But also as a CEO, the business side is very important. And at this stage of the market, I mean, everything is grow in front of us, okay? When you are a telecom operator, for instance, it's like the penetration is already 100% in the market, no? So you start to compete at that level. But today we are so early days that everything that we can do between projects to help each other. So we have so many sport fans, enthusiasts to bring on board of Web3. So every piece that we can do among all of us is important, no? And for me, Chiliz is like the building, no, infrastructure that you have. Below that, when we entered with Chiliz and we started talking to you and working with you, this has been always the what I saw, no, at the beginning. Is like building on top of that and helping, because every user that you have already onboarded is useful for us, and every user that we can bring, because what we are doing is also good for you and for the other projects and so on. So the most difficult part right now maybe is to onboard, let's call it Web2 user, no, sport fans into this new ecosystem. So everybody doing that at the same time, and you as the vehicle, no, that's helping each one of us. As did for me, the way or the moment of choosing Chiliz, of start thinking about working with you, was mainly that.
Yeah.
Greatly
appreciate
I
it,
think
Anton.
Max. Oh,
No, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I was just saying thank
yes.
you.
Yeah, and just to actually add something what Max said, I think he said something really interesting, that fans are fans of teams, not just sports. And I think that's a really cool statement. And that actually goes into something more of a philosophy of the products, right? I like sports and blockchain. So what? Realistically speaking, we can't just build something that we can actually carry out the philosophy in the product. And Chiliz fortunately provides the infrastructure where teams, leagues, or maybe in the long term, maybe some players, right? Maybe. So it provides the infrastructure where developers can actually put their philosophy into their product and as a community that's ready for that because they're in there for that purpose. And I think that's what's really important for developers. And that's why, including myself and my team, we're in here.
Indeed. Max, do you want to add something?
No. I had my piece. I'm just sorry for tripping everyone up.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Thanks everyone for sharing your insights. I think on Chiliz Chain, we have the audience, like the combination of sports fans and crypto enthusiasts. And we have lineup of network of like big sports IPs. And we have really cool tools for developers like Tatum. And we have projects like Kayen and Legend building on Chiliz Chain, which are the potential good partners for future projects. So yeah, why not build on Chiliz Chain? Yeah, self-shilling right now. All right, then let's move to the next topic. So we're going to circle back a little bit to the Chiliz hard fork, actually. So actually, from your perspective, what do you think of the upcoming Chiliz Chain hard fork, and how do you anticipate it will influence the development of your projects and the broader ecosystem as well?
Well, I think one just very simple, straightforward is that it makes everything more modern and secure, right? And we can use the latest version of Solidity, and that obviously brings possibilities with updated opcodes and precompiles, which are obviously great for us. And in the end, I think, of course, it's a good thing for our project too. But I think in the end, for a long-term perspective, it's going to be a driving factor to drive to pull other developers from other chains or other ecosystems into Chiliz. So I'm definitely excited. It's something that I was looking forward to. So go hard fork.
Maybe I think you talked about Solidity part. Okay, so Philip, I'll maybe just talk about the EIP 1559 part as well, because I think that also adds some value. Because as a developer, if I am like that EIP is very like nice if I look as a user, because it kind of stabilizes the fees, right? Like you have a base fee, you have a minor tip. So with that, I think being like coming to the Chiliz as well, I think it will provide some more confidence to developers that they could provide a very constant fee experience to their users, which I think will also help them to be much vocal and get to people to onboard them to their dApps and eventually to the Chiliz ecosystem as well. So yeah, that's a great impact as well, I think, with this hard fork. And as I think Philip says, go hard fork.
That's actually a good slogan. Antonio, do you want to share anything?
Yes, it's with my two partners already say almost everything, but for us is maybe also coming with what I told before. We are in a moment of bringing new people, no? So everything that you do also for the staking, for the rewards, for that you have that in mind to help, because at the end of the day, most of the utilities also of the token is to help, no, to reward new users to come into more on the marketing side, no, of helping bringing new users. So everything that you do on that side is good, and I believe it's a good move from your side.
Thanks a lot. And Max, yeah, you already mentioned a lot on the hard fork topic, but still, just in case you have anything you want to add.
No, I don't want to regurgitate. This is very much a question for these guys more than for me to kind of spout out.
Cool, thanks. So yeah, then we move to the last session and the most exciting one. And just for all the audience, if you still stay here with us, make sure, yeah, go through the next one, because that's the community question part, just in case your question got asked and you are the lucky winner of our rewards. So the first question goes to Philip. And what would Chiliz ecosystem members expect from Kayen? And what kind of products are you planning to establish as a DeFi platform? Yeah, I think you already touched a bit on the topic already, but you mentioned the DEX, and probably you could elaborate a little bit more, like on the lining up projects you are going to launch.
Yeah, sure. This is the perfect question. So as I said before, we are a community-driven sports Web3 ecosystem on Chiliz. And as I said, we use the term ecosystem because we're going to have multiple products. And obviously, our first and flagship product is Kayen Swap, which will be the DEX on Chiliz. And our users are going to be able to trade fan tokens there. And just last week, when I was preparing a business document, and I had to write some trading volume for fan tokens. Last Thursday, the fan tokens 24-hour trading volume was over $200 million. That's a huge deal, right? And yet there's no proper DEX for people to trade these. And once we have a DEX to trade these fan tokens, as many of you guys probably all know, that's going to open up so many decentralized features. That's why we're here, and I'm really excited as a Chiliz fan myself. And since we're stepping up as the first to bring DeFi to Chiliz, we want to set up a solid benchmark. And with that philosophy, one of the features that are going to be added is Launchpad to boost other projects in Chiliz. And we also are planning to build a really cool NFT marketplace tailored for sports real world assets. But most importantly, we're just going to be listening to the community. And if you want something, tell us, we'll build it, add it to our ecosystem.
That's a very good big commitment. So Chilizens, you listened, and if you have anything you want to build, you want the Chiliz chain to bring to you, talk to Kayen. Cool. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. So this question comes from Blockchain for TR. So congratulations. And our next question goes to Shiv. How do you foresee the integration of AI technologies to improve the user experience on Tatum? And what are the next integrations planned to maximize the potential of AI in your projects? So quite hot topic right now. And I guess maybe not user experience, but more like developer experience in this context. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Super hot at this point, like AI and blockchain, right? So about improving the user experience on Tatum with AI. So we already have this chatbot, which kind of can help you to figure out what exactly you would need to do if you are, let's say, willing to make an application or something like that. So let's say if you are making an application, it's a very simple application. You want to fetch the portfolios, right? Like probably Kayen is launching the DEX, so you'll probably trade a lot of tokens. You need to like always see what you hold and basically see your portfolio. If you want to build this product, let's say using Tatum, and you're not sure where to start with, you can ask a chatbot like, okay, I want to fetch the portfolio where I should be starting with, and it will probably find you some relevant documentation links, and you can probably start from there. And I mean, there's some more things that we are currently in discussions, which I think I cannot disclose, but would be super cool as well. But I think what I can do just to extend this is share some more ideas with users, like what they could probably be adding to their applications with as an AI feature, which could spark their user experience. So maybe like on DEX says like, maybe it would be nice if I could, let's say, have all the user data that I have, and I can just query it like, hey, when did I trade this specific token, or what is the highest profitable token for me, or some things like that. So being able to query the transactions users do and having some context around it would be nice as well. There's something similar that we are also working to enable projects to do so, but that's still an early stage. So I would probably shut up at this point.
Very cool. Thanks for the insights. And that question comes from MICC Monk. Thank you for your question as well. Then the next question from community is for Antonio. So what's the use case of Legend token? Very interesting question. And about the platform, how your platform manage users. Is there any reward program for users The question is from Shiravan.
Okay, good, very good questions. Very timing question because we are about to launch it. You will see it very soon. I mean, we already closed the deal with two of the most important parts right now in the market, and you will see the announcement very, very soon about that. Regarding the token, all the use cases, as I said you before, we are always thinking about real use cases, that not just for having for the sake of it. When we think about the utilities, I mean, we are in the sports sector. From the very beginning, when I'm thinking about utilities, I go to the very philosophical way, let's say, in what is blockchain, is the best technology that we found out to reward the nodes of a network because of their contribution to the network, It was more from a technological point of view since Bitcoin started, also Ethereum and everyone else. But if you transfer that to the sports sector, I always try to think with that framework, So probably sport is the network with the most engaged nodes in the world, This is the fans. So all the utilities that when we thought about even rewards, how to use it, we always think with that framework, So in Legend, we created like two concepts, One is compete to earn, and another one is participate to earn. So all the utilities that have below compete to earn are all those that are thought for the athletes, because of participating into competitions that only athletes are allowed to do that, It's not like anyone in the street can do that. It's okay, real official competition where you participate, you can get some rewards because of participating, and then the participate to earn is more for the fans, where they need the token in order to get experiences to be able to interact with their athletes, So under these two frameworks is where we start to think about a lot of utilities. Okay, we already have many of them, but also to tell the community that is listening to us today is like, okay, how do we think about that? So all these athletes has a lot of fans, So also by bringing their fans into the ecosystem, by doing that, they can get rewarded with the tokens, and then the fans need the token in order to interact with them. But it not only stop with athletes and fans, then you also have brands, you also have sponsors, you have federations, and many one of them. So at the end of the day, you help us to grow the ecosystem, you get rewarded. You want to be part of the ecosystem and get access to many of the benefits, the utilities, the experiences with athletes, and many other, even with the competitions, is like where you can use the token for that. So mainly the two main ways of thinking about what is the use of a utility token inside the ecosystem. We do that in that sense, okay? And then the other question was about how to bring users in the platform, or
It's actually quite similar. Like how you manage users and rewards for the users. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I mean, we started. Sometimes this is a chicken and egg thing, So what do you start with, athletes and the and the clubs or the federations, or you start with the fans? Okay, so the first year of the company, we focus mainly 100% on the supply side, let's say, on the partnering with federations, creating trophies, medals, delivering these trophies and medals to the athletes that they won, like the World Cup, the Pan American Games that I told you before, even grassroots players that we have. Now we are in the other part, okay, bringing all the users to interact with the athletes that we have. We already onboarded more than 20,000 athletes, including World Cup winners, as I told you, or the winners of the Pan American Games. Now we are opening the doors to all the fans and the users that want to interact with them, and to also use the different tools that we have, okay? So on top of what I said before, all the rewards, of course, is everyone helping grow in the ecosystem will get rewarded, and then everyone wanted to use the different tools, we will use the token for that.
Thanks a lot, Antonio. Actually, I have a follow-up question. So for all the trophies and rewards from athletes, are they also gonna help to promote and bringing like their Web2 fans to the product as well?
Yes, that's the main point. I mean, it's not only leveraging already Web3 users, okay? All these athletes, imagine, if you put all of them together, we made the counts, is more than 100 million fans that they already have, like in their Instagram accounts, okay? So using the trophies, for us, is like the perfect reason, the perfect asset to bring them on board, okay? Because like it's not the only thing, but one of the most important things, how can you navigate through the career of an athlete? It's through their achievements, through their trophy. At the end of the day, the trophy and the medal is like the spearhead product, but we are also doing like diplomas, certificates of participation for everyone going there. So when we do a sport, we usually compete, even from grassroots. So as a fan, the way of knowing more about your athlete is through the trophies and the athletes, no? So, sorry, and the medals. So we are allowing the athletes even to like embed media content into the trophies. They are doing like their videos, photos, for both for the preparation of the competition or even during the event or when celebrating the event, okay? So all these videos, audios, photos that these athletes can embed into the trophies become like NFT-gated content. So all the fans having like a part of the trophy and so on can interact there. So today, beyond Web3, there is a huge market for replicas of physical trophies, or even the European Champions League or the NBA ring or whatever. So there is already a lot of fans willing to collect replicas of physical trophies. In the digital world, what we are doing is enabling athletes to have a fragment of their official and the original digital trophy. So it's not even a replica, it's a part of the original one. And that's the way of bringing fans, at least from the way that we are executing it, is allowing fans to have a piece of the original trophy or medals of their preferred athletes, and to share the achievement with the athletes. Yeah.
Exactly. That's something really interesting for the fans and some really, I would say, cherish like prize for them to own as well. Thanks, Antonio, for the answer. And then the next question comes from Tom's Zapato. So that's for Max. Actually, there are like two questions. So the first one is about Euro 2024. Are there any Chiliz projects and promotions we're gonna do around these significant events?
Yeah, there are. Maybe you want to shed light on them. I know of two projects
Yeah,
that will be doing something specific. My issue is I'm not actually sure if they're like completely public or not. And the last thing I want to do is accidentally spoil any announcements they may have upcoming. And I know you speak to them. I know one announcement is like super imminent. So I don't know what the level of secrecy is or not. You can note both of them maybe.
yeah, I guess for that one, I think right now it's better for committee to stay tuned as well. So yeah, there is something coming up, and yeah, and also will be done with our chain partners as well. So yeah, stay tuned and stay updated from all the news shared in Chiliz socials and our Discord and Telegram as well. Okay, and then the next question actually a bit touch of Azuro. So what form will the future cooperation with Azuro take? So yeah, to give a bit of context, like I think 2 weeks ago, last week we announced the partnership with Azuro.
It's a good question. It's kind of a more complicated question. It looks on the face of it. I think it goes to what Siobhan was noting about the importance of tooling and options for developers and entrepreneurs. Zero itself isn't a retail product. It's a protocol on top of which you can build front ends to create experiences. I think it's a really, really cool and innovative piece of tech. I think given the fact that obviously betting itself, right? Even if you're looking at pool betting or prediction markets, it's a complicated area. It's obviously parts of it are regulated and scrutinized very deeply in regions. It obviously has a very long and complicated relationship with sports as well. So we're going to keep our eye out on who decides to use this tech to enable new business ideas, right? Our goal is that we'll be able to help and support the folks that come and build on top of Azuro, but build in compliant and interesting and innovative ways that are going to uncuff our hands from being able to support them. And whether that means we'll work out partnerships in the future with those types of compliant entrepreneurs or not, it remains to be seen. But it's a very interesting space for us. I hope that's not too much of a politically coy answer. but it's the truth, right? It's a very nuanced part of the space.
It's a very good answer. Thanks, Max.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's all for our questions and discussions today. And thanks again for our guests, and thanks for spending your time with us. And also thank you, all the audience. Thanks for staying with us. And yeah, the Chiliz committee and the committee of all the projects as well. Also, thanks Richard and Stan, our head of video and social media manager, for staying through this MA to make sure that the recording is going smoothly. Any closing words anyone wants to share in the end?
No, thank you. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, Antonio, Siobhan, Phil, just for coming and speaking as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Last
having
shout
Max,
out.
you can tell us the news before. Oh, sorry.
You could tell it's a what?
I'll just you can tell the secret news to us. We'll keep it a secret.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll tell you offline all the secret news.
Yeah, all the big things are going offline. And yeah, also for the audience, please follow our social media, follow Kayen, Tatum, and Legend to make sure you have the updates of all the exciting things happening on their ecosystem as well. Yeah, so thanks everyone, and have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
for
much.
having us.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.